Ole Miss has had a quarterback committed. Tomorrow is National Signing Day, by the way. Feels like a public service announcement is necessary. The early signing period begins tomorrow. National Signing Day, round 1. You get another one in February and whatever else. Marcel Reed, the quarterback from Brentwood Academy, or MBA. Which is it, MBA or Brentwood Academy?
MBA.
MBA, Montgomery Bell Academy in Nashville, has been committed to Ole Miss since last spring. He has stuck with Ole Miss all the way through this recruiting process, led his team to a state championship game appearance in the state of Tennessee, and has had some tweets over recent weeks that made you wonder, okay, is he really looking around? Because of the season that he had, his status has gone up, and visited Auburn, visited Texas A&M. Yesterday, he tweeted a "with that being said" tweet that he was decommitting from Ole Miss. He was still going to sign in the early signing period, and he would make his intentions known at 7 o'clock last night. Well, when 7 o'clock rolled around last night, those intentions were fancy graphics of him in a cowboy hat headed to Texas A&M. So Marcel Reed, who's been committed to Ole Miss for months, 2 days before National Signing Day, reneges on that commitment, and he's going to Texas A&M. Now, here's the really cool thing, right? 5 years ago, we would have had to talk in code and innuendo, and you would sound like disgruntled, and you were accusing somebody of cheating and all those things. You're like, I wonder what went into that decision. We don't have to do that now. Texas A&M paid Marcel Reed more to come to College Station to play for the Aggies than Ole Miss either A, could pay, or B, was willing to pay. And I don't know which of those two it is. Maybe a combination of the two. Maybe they thought in terms of allocation of resources, it wasn't best to match whatever offer was out there from Texas A&M. However it is that worked behind the scenes. Either Ole Miss couldn't pay it or chose not to pay it. And Marcel Reed, who a week or so ago tweeted, what about the hashtag
word,
NIL?
Hashtag NIL.
Yeah. And it is 100% perfectly, reasonably within his rights to do what he just did. Because there is an open market right now where high school players being recruited, and frankly transfer players, college players being recruited to leave their current school to go to another school, can be paid. Marcel Reed has no idea. In his mind, there may be a vision of what college football is going to look like for him, but in reality, he knows not what it is going to look like, how the next few years are going to play out. So whatever money he got from Texas A&M, which you have to believe was more than Ole Miss was going to pay him, is money that he might or might not have the opportunity to make down the line. And you cannot for a second, in the environment that we're in, blame Marcel Reed for choosing to go to a place where he was going to be paid more than the place where he's been committed to for 8 or 10 or months or however long it's been, was willing to pay. That's, you can not like it. You can think that the system needs to be tweaked or modified or shored up or cleaned up or whatever. You can debate the reasons as to why Marcel Reed would choose not to go to Ole Miss to play for Lane Kiffin in a quarterback-friendly offense, especially for a quarterback with his skill set, and instead go play for a coach who's running an antiquated offense that is a pro style and a program that showed no interest in Marcel Reed until very recently. You can debate that all you want. What you can't debate is a kid making a decision at 17 or 18 years old. Hey, this school's willing to give me X, and this school's willing to give me 3X. I'm going to go where I'm going to get paid more. You can't be upset with him for that.
Oh, no. Not at all.
And if you are, you're a little hypocritical, because it's hard for me to believe that you wouldn't do the exact same thing in your work life. If you had an opportunity, and I'm just making the numbers up, to make 3 times. Michael Borky, you love your job. You don't love everything about your job every day, but you have said on this show you love what you get to do for a living. If another radio station in another place calls you tomorrow and offers you 3 times your salary, or maybe even 2 times your salary, I don't know what the number is, you're going, right?
Yeah, had a good run. Well, I mean, not
You'll
even a thought.
You'll go to your boss's office tomorrow, and you will tell them, this is what I've been offered. This is something that I've got to do for my family.
Give them the chance to counter-offer. Your
current bosses would have the opportunity to say, well, we value you. We will match that. We value you. We can't match that, but that we can do this. Or we can't afford to do that. We're paying you what we can afford you to do, and we wish you all the best, and we don't blame you for it. And you do the same thing with your job.
Yeah.
So
it puts both things can be true at once. It puts Ole Miss in a tough spot because as of right now, which it's not going to end up this way, but as of right now, going into 2023, they have 1 scholarship quarterback on roster, unless Kincaid Dent returns, which some people are talking about that possibility, but he did go through senior day stuff. So unless an announcement has happened that I have missed, as of now, 1 scholarship quarterback returning. There's a false narrative about the quarterbacks in the transfer portal. People think they all are just looking to go somewhere to start. That's not reality, though. I mean, they all might think that that's the case, but there's too many that will be in the portal and not enough starting spots to give out. There will be guys in there that have multiple years of eligibility left that are going to have to go somewhere where there's an incumbent starter. So they'll find somebody, and maybe Dent stays. But it is a business decision, and like you prefaced it with, some people may not like it. But this idea that, while they should overspend, do whatever it takes to keep him. No, you shouldn't. Because while you have a significant amount of money in NIL to use, you can't, quote, overspend for every player. That's bad business. You've probably already done it with at least 1 recruit. You have to also give players on your current roster money to keep them around more than what they were getting before the season started. And at some point, generally speaking, you have to make the decision of, okay, do we give, let's call it, $200,000 extra to this quarterback that, at best, you'll get to use at the start of the 2024 season, more likely 2025, and as the position works, probably transferring by then anyway? Or do you take that extra $200K and get yourself a linebacker and a defensive lineman that you need to help the 2023 team? It's a business decision. At some point, just like with Ra Thomas at Mississippi State, you like the player, but it doesn't make economic sense to invest in the player the way he thinks you should invest in him or somebody else will. Got to draw a line somewhere. Ole Miss drew a line.